Aston's final auction. Things get crazy again. Richard, it's all gone mad. It's all over. Jason's poor. He's bought everything. Unbelievable.
Every single auction that we've had over the last, 18 months now, we've always said, it can't top that. It's not going to top that. That's it. It's crazy. It has to level out. And then the next auction comes along. And I've got to say, I thought, looking at some of the items, I thought, maybe some of the bigger lots with 8, 10, 15 card figures, some of them were pretty rough, really, really rough. And I thought, somebody might like those other than me. I mean, let's face it, even Andy Norton got married. So I thought, right, maybe I could sneak in a sneaky bid, get some of it. That blown out the water. Absolutely blown out and everything. So I'm going to come to Jason with this, because obviously, Jason, you've studied this mainly. Let's just lead us through some of the highlights of the Aston auction and why did the prices go for what they went for?
Well, there were some kind of carded Palatoy figures in here that we'd kind of have been seen in very, very small numbers and not been seen before. The day of the auction, it kind of started early morning, and there was a load of non-Star Wars stuff, and I think the Star Wars stuff started coming up around about 3:30, 4 o'clock, so it was towards the end of the auction. Chris Aston took over for the final leg of the auction, and wearing a very natty Stormtrooper jacket with kind of Imperial Stormtrooper helmets on it that he's worn before. So he saw the last of the auctions through. And I'm just going to cover, I took screen grabs of a number of the auctions that were the big ticket items, which we'd noted in the previous podcast. I'm just going to go through those. So the first of these was the one with the Boba Fett mailers and the little Boba Fett leaflet. That came in at £2,700. Now, I think all of these things have got, with all the adders, premium stuff, you have to pay about another 35%, something like that. So that one was £2,700 plus the premium. And then there was a load of Denga mailer figures. That went for £4,000. £4,000 for that. And then the first of the big ticket Palatoy card figures was the Death Squad Commander 30B. Now, that's a kind of figure that's been seen on a card maybe once before as a mock. I've got a card back. But also in that item, there's a Iggy 30B. They're quite rare, and another 3 cards. That went for a whopping £25,000. So that was, I think, the highest auction price realised for any lot. Another group lot of 6 cards. This one featured a 41-back Palatoy Sand People that we've never seen as a mint on card. We've only seen 3 card backs of that. That went for £8,200. And then there was, we talked about the Palatoy Vinyl Cape Java, but there's another lot where there's one with the name tag cut out, along with what I thought was a cloth cape Java with the name tag cut out, but it's actually a transition bubble. So that's the one where they got the R2-D2 bubble, and they raised it up by putting a little platform behind the Jawa. So both of those with the name tag cut out, and that went for £8,800 to a good friend of the podcast, Nick Rayner. Congratulations again, Nick. And I know he's been doing work to restore and fill in the gaps where those name tags are, and they look very nice. So well done again, Nick. Congratulations. The next one, this one featured, let's have a look, it's got a 30B Leia Bespin, a 30B Han Bespin, a 30B Luke Skywalker, and another Princess Leia card, and that one went for £10,000 for that. And then finally, the Palatoy Vinyl Cape Jawa. This is the one which we haven't seen before, which is an upside-down Hamley's toy sticker on it, finished off at £22,000, so £3,000 less than the lot that had what I think was the highlight of the auction, which was that Death Squad Commander 30B. But then there were other group auctions that kind of went for insane money. There was a lot of it was tatty boxed vehicles. There were about 8 of those, and people were paying £1,000 for that, and nobody could see where the value was. I think there was just mass auction fever on this one again. And the thing to bear in mind is a lot of this stuff, it was found in bin bags in the garage, and a lot of it was water damage. So people have paid a lot of money on stuff, and some of the stuff isn't in that great condition. So anyway, but as far as Chris Aston's concerned, he's got a nice little nest egg there to go hiking or skiing in the Alps or whatever he's doing with his time now. And congratulations again, Chris.
Yeah, great roundup there, Jason. So I'm going to come to Andy Spoons first. Spoons, how many times have we said that the bubble has to pop? You know, do people have that much disposable income at this moment in time?
I think we've mentioned this on the show previously. You know, it is strange times at the moment with the pandemic. The world is pretty much split into two. We've got those working in the travel, hospitality industries that have been furloughed, that or no longer have a job. You know, where money's really, really tight. And then you've got the other half of the world where everything's continuing, but you can't spend your money. So that's got to be an element. That there's no toy shows. People do have more disposable income if they still have a job, so are prepared to bid higher on these things. You know, it isn't just Star Wars we're seeing on this. It's anything at these auctions seems to be going for crazy money. There's also, you know, that the prices some of these are fetching, they're not going to the average collector, are they? So tens of thousands of pounds for a carded figure. They're going. So there's got to be, you know, not necessarily for all these things, but there's got to be an element that some of these are going to investors. Very low interest rates at the moment on savings. So people maybe think their money's better off in vintage toys. You know, vintage cars was seen as a good investment a few years ago. That's assume that's still the case. And then there's the other element where vintage toy collecting is, dare I say it, mainstream now. You know, when I first used to talk to colleagues about this, there was a few awkward moments afterwards, maybe. That one of my old bosses, he collected art, and he really looked down on me at spending money on Star Wars, and he used to get the mick taken quite a lot. One that sticks in my mind, I bought a Model Trem bootleg figure of Hanhoff many years ago, and I paid a decent whack for it. I mean, I think that's increased quite a lot now. But my friends, boss, they you know, what are you doing spending that much money on a lump of lead? I think today, if I bought that, they'll go, oh, yeah, great buy. That'd be worth more, because I think the general public see Star Wars as an investment, as money, and therefore it's fine. When it's just a bunch of geeks rebuying their childhood, is somehow it's less understandable. And I'm guessing that those you know, there's more collectors, that's for sure. You just look at the Facebook groups, and there's more people buying that. It's more acceptable. If there's more people bidding on the same thing, the price goes up.
Action figure related items are going crazy, okay, and we all know that. We see that in all the auctions. What is going on with the Beyond the Toys market? Is it exactly the same? Or HC Ford and Letraset and various other licensees just going crazy as well, or are they still about the same as what they've always been?
Yeah, I think prices are up, and I think interest is up. And much the same sort of things that Spoons has been talking about, that there is a little bit more cash available, that interest in these is growing, and you know, as perhaps people get fed up with the crazy prices on the toys, maybe switching over to this sort of market. There wasn't a great deal of Beyond the Toys stuff at all in the Aston's auction, so difficult to look at anything there. And if I'm honest, I can't think of any really big ticket Beyond the Toys items that have come up in recent times. But it's still a very buoyant market, a lot of buyers there, and some good prices being seen. So certainly no sign of tailing off in that sector of collecting at all.
Jason, Palatoy always seems to do well in the UK, but is there any evidence that other countries even care about it?
Well, certainly the UK auctions featuring the big ticket Palatoy items. I mean, and this auction again, I think all the pieces have gone to UK collectors, and Palatoy is a very kind of niche market in the UK, and the people with the passion for the Palatoy logo are all UK collectors, and they're the ones that will spend the big bucks for the items. They all tend to go to UK collectors.
Are you aware of any big Palatoy collectors from other countries?
Well, I mean, obviously there are focus collectors who will have a Palatoy, you know, for whatever their focus is, they'll have the Palatoy items for that. But people doing an entire trying to do an entire run of Palatoy cards outside of the UK. I know people do tri-logo ones outside of the UK, but Palatoy branded cards, I don't really know of anyone particularly doing that outside the UK. I don't think.
Now, Pete, obviously with an auction of this magnitude, it's going to appear on BBC News at some point. But I read the story and I thought, yeah, it's a nice story, but I think you've, embellished the truth just a little bit here. So, do you want to give a brief overview of the story and do you believe it? Do you think it happened like that?
This is the story that someone had a bunch of Star Wars figures in a garage or something and then dumped them on some bloke's front steps saying, "Oh yeah, do you want this crap? It's all rubbish." I mean, yeah, probably. So that sort of thing. These stories happen, aren't they? People just thinking, "Oh yeah, Star Wars." I'm always being given Star Wars things by people. I don't know what it is. Never had any luck on value items, but I just end up redistributing it and giving it away. But it is Starbridge. You have to remember, these people are like 40 years, in the past. It's Starbridge, Rich. Have you ever been to Starbridge? No, you're shocked because no one wants to go to Starbridge. It's a silly place.
Just agreeing with you. Nobody goes to Starbridge, right? Most people couldn't even point out on the map where it is.
No, it's a ridiculous place. It's only known. I have to go there for football every now and again. Thankfully, we're Leamington above them now in the pyramid. Ha ha. And it is literally, the ground is in a different century. The people are just genuine freaks. No offence, but it is true. Honestly, it's another world. So there's probably tons of Star Wars out there sitting in bin bags.
Can I just say that Peter Davis's views on Starbridge don't reflect those of all the Vintage Rebellion podcast team.
I tell you what, if it comes a game with me, you'll be a grim in 5 minutes. Some Wurzel-looking bloke will come up and tell you to get out of the ground for no apparent reason. And they've got three-sided ground. They played a cricket ground. We call it the triangle because they've got three sides. It's rubbish. But yeah, no, I think it's genuine, Rich. I think it's too stupid not to be genuine because you see, I think Jason or Spoons or someone mentioned the condition of these cards weren't great, and there was lots of rumours that people saying, look, you really need to look at the pictures better before you bid because they're not great condition. There's a lot of damage. If they haven't been in bin bags in a garage, then yeah, I think they probably were. Yeah, I think it's genuine, and it's really annoying because that auction went on, and about a week later, for some reason, the story hit the news cycle, and I got everyone and their auntie saying, "Oh, have you seen that Star Wars story in Starbridge? Oh, amazing!" So yeah, it was annoying, but yeah, that's Starbridge for you. Just don't go there, silly place.
Death Star approaching. Estimated time to firing range, 15 minutes.
What, is this another Propstore auction, or have I missed one?
Well, it is another one, and you've missed one by the sounds of it. But yeah, the Propstore auctions, that just, I mean, what? This is just absolutely brilliant, and I've looked at it and thought, well, I'm going to see Death Star towers and things. I mean, let's face it, I'd love a Death Star tower. They are absolutely amazing, but you're starting to see them very, very frequently. And as I was scrolling through, I just stopped and thought, I have never seen one of these before. A full-size Dewback head. I was just, whoa. So, London-based Art Models Limited produced giant creature models for the film, creating one Dewback and two Gerber, another large beast which appears in the film. I'll let Pete tell us all about the Gerber in a few moments. After filming wrapped, the original Dewback prop was destroyed, but Art Models Limited owner and manager Fred Pearl had created a backup casting of the head in case the production needed it, making this the last original production-made Dewback head in the world. The head is made of fiberglass with glass eyes and latex skin which was hand-painted by Pearl to look rough and reptilian. There was evidence that it was at some point painted blue. A vintage Art Models Limited business card is adhered inside the head. The head is some wear from age and storage, including scuffing and scratches, most notably on the wooden panel on the reverse where it was previously hung on a wall. Imagine that, a Dewback head hood on your wall. Absolutely brilliant. The head comes on a metal display stand and dimensions are 49.5 inches by 20 3/4 inches and 54 by 1/4 inch. I mean, that is just amazing, absolutely amazing. I was just staggered by it, and I thought, well, how's it survived? Because obviously, as we know, a lot of the latex items have, deteriorated, they've rotted, but I wasn't aware that most of this was fiberglass, glass eyes, and if the later skin has been hand painted over, then obviously that's why it survived attack. So brilliant, absolutely amazing item. It's starting bid of about £10,000 from memory, with an estimate of going between £20,000 and £30,000. I mean, come on, Pete, Joe Backhead, but tell me about the Gerber. What did the Gerber do, Pete?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Rich.
Anybody?
What Gerbers?
What is a Gerber?
The Gerber was stood outside the cantina. It was blink and you miss it, but it was there in the background. It's another funny looking thing. It's like a space cow. Apart from its appearance very, very briefly in Star Wars, it did pop up in some behind-the-scenes shots. It also made its way to the Equestrian event that was held in between Star Wars and Empire in the UK. And they had some props and things on display, and this Gerber appeared there. And there's a lovely picture of Carrie Fisher actually riding it. So, there you go. We'll have to throw that one up in the social media. Yeah,
it's actually, I'm looking at the picture now, it's more like a bison than anything else. And it really is a blink and you miss it moment, because you can see the Chewbacca in prominent shot when Luke and Obi-Wan Kenobi head towards the cantina. The Gerber, it just looks like a pile of clothes. It's hard to spot, really hard to spot. But yeah, good luck on finding that image, because I can't see it at the moment. So, Andy Preston, because you've chimed in again, what would you like to own from the Propstore auction?
Yeah, I've picked two pieces actually, which would be fantastic to display together. And they're both from The Empire Strikes Back, from Bespin. The first one being a Bespin Blaster. So these are the blasters that were carried by the Cloud City Guards, Bespin security guards. And this is a Bespin Blaster made of fiberglass with a resin gel coat, featuring a sculpted ergonomic grip that fits comfortably in the right hand. It's a metallic grey colour, lacking the additional paint detailing seen on blasters in the film, suggesting this was a production backup or a holstered version. Some wear from production use and age, with scuffs and scratches and several notable chips on the top and the right sides of the blaster. There's also a crack at the end of the barrel, and the tip of the barrel is slightly loose. So all that said, obviously got its faults, but it is a very, very recognisable Star Wars weapon. This one is guided at £6,000 to £8,000. And alongside that, you have the opportunity of buying a Bespin Guard jacket. The very, very recognisable jackets with the red and gold trim worn by the Bespin Guards. The description of this one says the collarless blue cotton jacket features decorative faux gold braid detailing on the lower portion of the front and along the garment's edge. Sleeve cuffs are burgundy with a black trim, and a strip of green-coloured Velcro runs down the jacket's front. Avinash, which I guess is perhaps the name of one of the extras who wore it, is written inside the jacket near the right shoulder, and another name crossed out is written near the left shoulder. The jacket displays minor wear. There's a pluck on the left sleeve, and sections of the stitching on the gold braid have come undone. £4,000 to £6,000 you guide on that one. And what a lovely pair of items. If you were able to get those, stick them in a case, that would make a fantastic display.
Indeed it would. Lovely items there. Jason?
Well, I've gone for a big, massive gun. There's a Return of the Jedi 1983 Stormtrooper Blaster. This is basically Stormtroopers carried their standard issue E11 Imperial blaster rifles throughout the film, including when the Death Star docking bay sequence and the Battle of Endor. And it's just a big, massive Stormtrooper gun. And the estimate on this thing is £50,000 to £70,000. And I'd have to use the gun and go and rob a bank to pay for it. It's probably going to end up costing that much, but it's just, I have never owned any kind of replica weapon bar a lightsaber. If I was going to have a gun, have a big one, have a Stormtrooper blaster.
Pete, I'm going to show you pick something completely wacky out at auction.
Well, funny you should say that, Richard. I don't think I really want it, but I'd like to have a look at it. These were the Alec Guinness handwritten postcards. 5 handwritten holiday postcards from Alec Guinness. So he's gone on holiday and sent postcards. The postcards dated 1968. I don't know why this is, it's just so bizarre. They're all addressed to Mrs. Cherry. The postcards are from Berlin, too hot. Nice, bright and pleasant. Amsterdam, pretty place. Iceland, a magnificent country. And the Isle of Wight, wet and cold. I mean, it's just like, how random. What a random thing. Apparently, there's the starting bid's going to be, well, it started at £150. Some rubbishy postcard. Oh, dear. I mean, who's buying this stuff? Come on. Stop that. Alec Guinness postcards. But from a Star Wars point of view, Richard, from a Star Wars point of view, there's a couple of little bits and pieces. There's this strange kind of like, apparently it's a prototype to a snow globe for a Imperial probe droid, which is rather odd. I don't know if you saw that at all.
Well, we're just going to stop you there because you've actually strayed into Spoons' choice there.
Am
so
I?
Spoons, forks, knives, whatever. Okay, you take that one away.
Sploons.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're aware of that one, Pete, and had written about it in the show notes.
Oh yeah, well, I lost the will to live with Jason's pictures.
That's amazing insight, that, Andy. You got anything else to add to it?
Is it me now, is it? Sorry, I do apologise. Well, actually, I'm surprised that Pete didn't pick this one. It's Padme's Funeral Pressed Flowers for a opening bid of £400. Does that not fit with your focus, Pete? Did you see those?
Well, yeah, tempting, but we are vintage, so I ignored it.
Okay. Well, and on that note, I had to ignore the Alien Prop Department rake, which really I was attracted to for £100 opening bid. That's a bit more my level. But for going for Star Wars, you could buy the electric jigsaw used by the prop department there. These are great vintage items. But yes, as you did stray into my area there, Pete, the snow globe really appealed. We're coming up to Christmas. Fantastic little model of the probe droid. It's an unproduced snow globe from the promotion of Irving Kershner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. So there's an ILM produced item. Doesn't really say a lot about it. It says pull out from bottom. I don't know how that works. Does that make it snow? I would be tempted for a sneaky bid on this, and it links in quite nicely with another probe droid rather than snow globe item, a probe droid item, which is the Joe Johnson hand-drawn storyboard of the back of Han Hoth with the probe droid in the distance, which coincidentally is the exact image on one of the Empire Strikes Back slides I got from Lucasfilm this week. It's a great image, so I would like that, but I suspect it's going to be a little bit out of my price range. That's lot 747, and the probe droid is 736.
A lot of people talk about, quite rightly so as well, Ralph McQuarrie's drawings, but I've always been a fan of Joe Johnson, and I much prefer his work, especially when he's drawing ships and vehicles and things. I don't think he can be touched. Ralph obviously gives it a real world kind of feeling to it, but I think Joe Johnson's stuff's absolutely amazing. I think he is a bit underrated. But nice items, they're going to go for a huge amount of money, I'm sure.
You're going to be having a cheeky bid, Rich?
No, not in the Hope Now's chance. I don't think I could even afford the commission, never mind the price of the items. But yeah, great choices, lads. It's going to be a fantastic auction and one to watch.